Following their successful Rio heist, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, and his crew of professional criminals have retired around the world. Dominic lives with Alina Elsa Pataki. His sister Mia Jordana Brewster lives with Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker, and their son, Jack. Giselle Gal Gadot and Han Sung Kong have moved to Hong Kong, and Roman Tyrese Gibson and Tej Chris Ludacris Bridges live in luxury. Diplomatic Security Service (DSS) Agent Luke Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, and his partner Riley Gina Carano investigate the destruction of a Russian military convoy by former British Special Forces soldier Owen Shaw, Luke Evans, and his crew. Shaw's crew is using cars for their hits. Hobbs interrogates one of the men caught in the heist and finds that Shaw is in London. Hobbs tracks down Dominic in Spain and persuades him to help take down Shaw after showing him a recent photo of the supposedly long-dead Letty Ortiz, Michelle Rodriguez, Dominic's former girlfriend, who is supposedly working with Shaw. Dom wants to do the job by himself, but Hobbs convinces him that the whole family is needed. Dom discusses the matter with Brian and Alina. Alina and Mia both encourage Dom to bring Letty back home. Dominic gathers his crew together and they accept the mission in exchange for full amnesty for their past crimes, allowing them to return home to the United States. Mia and Alina remain with Jack. Shaw ran the UK's mobility division in Iraq and Basra, and Tej says that the unit represented the best vehicular warfare globally. Shaw has already stolen a program terminal from an ICBM. Hobbs tells Dominic's crew that Shaw is stealing components to create a nightshade device, which can disable power in an entire region for 24 hours, which he intends to sell to the highest bidder. The device could be worth billions to the right buyer. Hobbs says that Shaw is now missing one piece to complete his device, and he intends to stop him. The crew travels to London where one of Shaw's henchmen leads them to Shaw's hideout, but it is revealed to be a trap intended to distract the crew and police while Shaw's crew performs a heist elsewhere at the Interpol office. Shaw flees by car, detonating his hideout behind him and disabling most of the police, leaving Dominic, Brian, Tej, Han, Giselle, Hobbs, and Riley to pursue him. Shaw's team uses electronic devices to hack into the cars of their pursuers and crash them. Letty arrives to help Shaw and shoots Dominic without hesitation before escaping. Meanwhile, Shaw's investigation into the opposing crew reveals Letty's relationship with Dominic, but she is revealed to be suffering from amnesia. Shaw asks his team to find the weaknesses of Dominic's crew. Hobbs gets confirmation that Shaw's crew stole a database from Interpol that listed every possible location of the last component he needs. There are 24 such locations across Europe, and the list is good only for 96 hours. Han, Giselle, and Romain are tasked with finding the custom shop in London that fabricated the highly modified cars for Shaw's crew. Riley goes with them. Brian finds out that the bullet that hit Dom came from a very specific Russian handgun that is not sold in the UK. He believes it was bought at a pawn shop. At the pawn shop, Dom learns that Letty bought the guns and that she is street racing in London. Dominic's crew investigates a Shaw subordinate, the guy who runs the custom garage, who reveals Shaw's connection to Arturo Braga, John Ortiz, a drug lord imprisoned by Brian, while Tej purchases several cars from an auction for the mission cars that have computer chips that cannot be hacked and are fast. Brian returns to the United States as a prisoner to gain access to Braga, who reveals that Owen helped him build his drug cartel and Letty survived the explosion that was thought to have killed her. Shaw attempted to finish her off, but after learning of her amnesia, he took her in. Aided by a former ally in the FBI, Brian is released from prison. In London, Dominic challenges Letty in a street racing competition, and afterwards returns her necklace he had kept. Letty chooses to remain with Owen. After Letty leaves, Owen arrives and offers Dom a chance to walk away, threatening to hurt his family, but Dom refuses. Tej tracks Shaw's next attack to a NATO base in Spain. His crew assaults a military convoy carrying a computer chip to complete the nightshade device. Dominic's crew interferes, destroying the convoy while Shaw, accompanied by Letty, commandeers a tank and begins destroying cars along the highway. Brian and Roman manage to flip the tank. Letty is thrown from the tank and Dominic risks his life to save her from falling to her death. Shaw and his men are captured, but he reveals that he has kidnapped Mia. The crew is forced to release Shaw, and Riley, revealed to be working for Shaw, leaves with him. Letty chooses to remain with Dom. Shaw's group board a large aircraft Antonov An-124 in motion on a runway as Dominic's crew gives chase. Dominic, Letty, Brian, and Hobbs board the craft. Brian rescues Mia and they escape using a car on board. The plane attempts to take off but is held down by excess weight as Han, Giselle, Roman, Tej, Brian, and Mia tether the plane to their vehicles. Giselle sacrifices herself to save Han from one of Shaw's henchmen. Letty kills Riley and escapes with Hobbs to safety, but Dominic pursues Shaw and the computer chip. Shaw is thrown from the plane as it crashes into the ground. Dom drives one of the remaining cars through the nose of the exploding plane and reunites with his crew, giving the chip to Hobbs to secure their amnesty. In the aftermath, Dominic and his team return to the United States. Hobbs and Alina, now working with Hobbs, arrive to confirm the crew are free. Alina accepts Dominic, has chosen Letty over her. As Dominic's crew gather to share a meal, Dominic asks Letty if the gathering feels familiar. She answers no, but that it feels like home. Han is involved in a car chase in Tokyo when he is suddenly broadsided by an oncoming Mercedes-Benz W140. The driver, Deckard Shaw, Jason Statham, walks away after leaving Letty's cross necklace by the crash, and calls Dom, saying, "You don't know me, but you're about to," as Han's car explodes.